Hey, let's do this. The man who proudly wears his green. The man who I feel kind of guilty here. Okay? He has all this. Dude, when you listen to my Birds 365, yeah, that's a nice stepping stone. Shit's looking, then he comes by the time I'm done with him, man. This guy feels like a guy down there in South Philly walking the streets going, I feel so beat up. Let's bring him in to co-host the Birds 365 and the pre- and post-game show, our dear friend, Xander Big Z Kraus.
What's up, Big Cells?
Love the gear, Hoss.
Thank you, man.
Love the gear, absolutely.
Big shout out, man. A bunch of people checking out the gear. Appreciate that. Big Sue. Sue got my favorite piece of merch. So shout out to her. She got the JAKIB Bleeds green in a gray t-shirt. Looks really good, Sue. So good stuff with that. That shipped out today. So appreciate everybody that supports anything we do on JAKIB. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate it.
You know what I'm doing right now? Because we're getting a lot more chicks that are checking Big Silver out.
Oh my God. Prince had me dying with that. And then you started telling a story about you and a cannoli. And I'm like, I don't know, Big Sills. You might have want to kept that one inside.
No. Like I told you, we're at the Sugar Bowl and these things were sitting with us. And I didn't know what we were in New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl. We were playing Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so
anytime you're in New Orleans, you got to keep your head on straight.
I didn't know any of this. I didn't know what the hell this thing is.
I went to New Orleans once in college, Big Sills.
Hey, so get this. I'm getting ready. I get up. I go over to pay the bill. The guy goes, you ain't leaving with any of them things. And I go, why? And they go, they ain't chicks. And I go, do me a favor. Don't tell my teammates.
Yeah. Bold move by you. Bold move by you and a cannolis.
Hey, I can promise you this: the next day at train table wasn't really a pleasant conversation. My God, the bartender stopped us at the door. We would have been holding cannolis. I went, what are you talking? No, that's okay. That's just the world of Big Sills and how my mind works. Anyway, how does the mind of Nick Sirianni work when he gets called out by his coordinator today saying, yeah, that was nothing, Berger. He didn't call any plays or anything. Yeah. Why does he do this, Xander? Why does he create drama that doesn't need to be created?
I don't know why he does it. He feels the need to do it as the coach of the team. I think it ultimately creates more issues for him. But look, maybe he's just trying to protect all his guys. I would do it a different way. I think there's better ways to protect your guys and your organization as a head coach than doing that, but that's what he does. I don't know. He continues to do it. Even John's like, what? Why go up there and say you're calling a defensive play, right? It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. That's his style. And look, here's what I'm at a point, Sills, where I'm now waiting for Nick to be fired, because either everybody that's clamoring about Nick getting fired is going to be correct, and Nick's going to get fired, and the whole thing is going to look better, or Nick is going to get fired. It's going to look exactly the same with the new puppet that they roll in. That the only person they're going to hire is a puppet. So everybody's clear. They're not hiring Bill Belichick. They're not hiring anybody that's not a puppet. So Ben Johnson, he might want his $15 million. As long as you protect your organization, we don't give a shit what you want, right? I mean, they're going to hire a puppet. So it's either going to look better or it's going to look the exact same. Kurt Warner put out a tweet and he's like, this is 4 coordinators and it looks the same. At what point do we start questioning whether it's deeper than the coordinator?
You're the first one that kept doing this, and when everyone kept pushing back on all your guys,
I didn't want to toot my own horn on social media, but
how come, you guys don't want me to bring up 23, but it looks the same? Xander, you and I have been the only people that have been pointing this out, that it's just different names on the coach's doors. Whether it's Brian Johnson or Kellen, it totally looks the same. It's the same rocky offense that you have. And the only dynamic that's the same is that the fact that you have the head coach who's now, is he making calls or is he not? I don't know anymore, because the coordinators are like, Kellen protects him more than what Vic does. Vic goes, I don't know what he's talking about. Kellen's like, well, yeah, it's collaborative. We sit around the pot fire, we smoke a pot, and we're roasting marshmallows. Yeah, we all collaborate. He does a better job of looking out for his boy. Vic's like this. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of it. Oh, yeah, Vic. Oh, yeah, Nick Sirianni. No, he didn't make a play, man. It's almost like he's not even in the room with him. He's like, yeah, that's not consequential. They had no bearing on anything. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what the hell Nick is in this organization right now. Like, I don't know. How do you see it? Well, what is his gig right now? What does he do for this team?
I'm going to, believe it or not, take your side on one thing you said yesterday. Okay. I want him to do this. If he's going to take the slings and arrows for the shit, take more credit for shit that goes well.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I mean,
fair.
then you have balance in what people will, hey, that was my play call. That was my influence. We were talking about that this week. Do fucking that. Don't just take the negative because people, then you add your behavior in. Everyone looks at you as a dope. So right now, here's the narrative this year in 24 for Nick. All the great things he's done with his record. Dude, if I had a record like that, I'd be running around the league going, they don't want me, someone else will, I'll tell you that.
Right.
But instead, you know what you got? You got a guy going like this. Hey, you know, this is my fault. I made all the shitty plays that cost us a game. It cost us some situations. And I wanted to jump in the stands like I was Ron Artest. Okay? I mean, dude, you look stupid. Make yourself look smarter, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, I took credit for that.
I said it yesterday, and somebody just brought it up. I don't mind him falling on the sword. I think you got to be responsible with it. Like, you didn't call it defensive play.
We'll take some kudos too.
Yeah, but you know, I do think it's not. I don't want to say it's admirable, but I don't mind it. I don't mind him falling on the sword for people in the organization. That's what head coaches do. I think there's better ways to do it. You know, and part of my point with yesterday was all the shit we have to criticize Nick Sirianni for, all of the ammo he's loaded into our gun that we can criticize him, and we all fall into to criticizing him for going like this at the Philly fan. I just thought it was low. I'm like, look, let's pick on him for being a shitty coach, or the game management, or the offense, or Jalen Hurts regressing, or all these other things. But we're picking on him for getting mad at the Philly fans who've been calling for the dude to get fired. I would challenge everybody in here. If somebody showed up at your job, and not that they ever will, and just said, fire him all the time, would you never want to clap back? It's natural. It's human instinct for him to do it. So, you know, I think it's fair. And Twiz brings it up all the time. It's Philly, dude. That's why people tune into your show. Why would people tune into Big Sills, who shits on their team all day long? Because they like it. They fucking like it. They might not want to admit it, but they like it, Sills.
It's true, though, what I'm saying here.
No, I know what you're saying is truth. I'm saying that the sentiment, though, of talking shit is something that I love it. I played hockey growing up. It was my favorite thing in the world to talk shit to players. I could be losing the game and I would talk some shit because that's what sports is. It's a big part of it. So I had less of a problem with the actual antics of yesterday, and I have more of a problem with the way Nick is handling his coaching duties than anything.
How about Senor's take here? Well, if he's going to fall on the sword, why didn't he for Brian Johnson and Sean Desai and demand that those guys remain like Doug did?
Maybe he didn't believe in him. He's smarter politically, is what John would say. John knew if he didn't make those, those, whatever you want to call them, he would have been fired.
Do you know why Tony Dungy was fired at Tampa Bay? Do you know why he was fired? He was fired because Tony wanted to keep Clyde Christensen. God rest his soul. He wanted to keep him as his offensive coordinator. The Glazers came down. I
love Tony Dungy.
The Glazers came down and said this to him because they had started talking with Al Davis on making a trade for John Gruden to get John Gruden in the building. So you know what they did? They went to Tony Dungy and told him, you have to fire Clyde Christensen. You know what Dungy did? Fuck that. He didn't say F because Tony doesn't swear, but Tony resigned, and then they turned around and fired him before he could resign. Within a matter of 8 hours, 8 hours, the Colts called him. Bill Polian, hey, we want you to be the head football coach here in Indianapolis. They didn't even have an opening. They made an opening for Tony Dungy. And Tony Dungy said, I'll run the offense. You keep Tom Moore in place for 10 years more for Peyton Manning. And we're going to go about our business. That's how he got to Indianapolis. Okay? Most coaches, Xander, look at Doug, like you said, Press Taylor. all that stuff. A lot of coaches are very, very loyal and to a fault.
Yeah, Doug is to a fault, man. Press Taylor's not doing anything with him. He's about to get fired from his next job.
Absolutely. And his days are numbered. Even though the owner came out and gave him a vote of confidence, there's not a chance in hell when you pay a guy $55 million.
Yeah, and he's tied to him now. So he's not, Doug's going to be on the move. We'll see. Hopefully Doug gets another job. He might not, honestly. I don't know if he will or not. I'm a big Doug Peterson guy. Obviously, won the damn Super Bowl in Philly. Our only one, I'll remind everybody. Our only fucking one.
I guarantee you he goes to Kansas City and gets on that staff. You watch.
Yeah, that's what that would be the reclamation. It wouldn't be a head coach job. He would get he'd be. Yeah, I could see that. I could
passing coordinator, somebody in that room, like something like that. I think he brought in, if I'm not mistaken, the former coach of either the Bears or the Jets. By the way, all super chats will be read at the end of our segment.
There was some Eagle news. Did you see that you were on the air? They flexed our game out. Can you believe this? They flexed out. Shows you what the league might be thinking of us right about now. They flexed out Eagles versus Bengals in week, we're going into week 7. So that would be the week 8 game. They flexed it out of 4:25 and into 1 p.m.
Holy cow.
And guess what they moved in there?
What?
The Bears versus the Commanders. 4-2 Bears, 4-2 Commanders, two rookie quarterbacks.
It's a better game.
I'm like, boy, if you told me at the start of the season the Bears and the Commanders would be flexing out Joe Burrow versus Jalen Hurts, I'd have told you were nuts.
You're welcome, everyone. When Big Sills told you the Commanders were going to be a team to watch this year.
Yes, you did.
Okay? You did. I mean, because Xander, I won't lie, I didn't think that kid looked that good. Hey, I thought he was Jaden Daniels. I thought he was going to be good. But this guy, he's in a conversation for the MVP award, not Rookie of the Year.
Well, I mean, if he leads that franchise to call it 11 wins, I mean, that's worthy of the conversation. That's not just Rookie of the Year stuff. By the way, Caleb Williams is starting to look pretty damn good too.
He's heating up too.
Yeah, he's heating up, man. And they've done a good job. I tried to give Ryan Poles some credit on Birds 365. Johnny Mack unloaded on Ryan Poles. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know you hated Ryan Poles so much. I think he's done a pretty good job.
Hey, all I know is this, man. I told people if that guy does a great job and he ends up putting the Bears in the postseason, I may be wearing pink fingernails by the end of the year.
Yeah, who told you that? Who bet? Did someone make a bet with that?
Somebody made a bet with me on that with somebody from Chicago. Windy City. I think it was Windy City. He made a bet with me and said that sales. And I go, but Xander, one thing before we move on here with this, who would have thought the NFC North would be the best division in all of football?
Dude, the NFC North is really freaking good. By the way, are the Lions going to potentially make a move for Hassan Reddick?
Yes.
Yes, right. I mean, you lose Aiden Hutchinson. He was on pace to be the potential, the defensive player of the year type of season. I think he already had 8 sacks, dude, in 4 games.
Brad Holmes is great friends with Drew Rosenhaus. Absolutely.
So we'll see what goes on there. Vikings are obviously 5-0. I mean, I don't believe that they're that good, but I think they're a solid team. Lions, Bears, and Packers. 5-0, 4-1, 4-2, 4-2. That's a nasty division, man.
Hey. That's a nice looking division there. Okay,
yes,
Jalen's the issue. Why does this team lack an identity once again? Is this also Jalen's fault? No. Okay, there's more to it. Guys, we need to be more of a balanced team, and they refuse to do it.
The issues are, look, I'm hard on Jalen. I don't think all the issues on this football team are Jalen.
No way.
I mean, I have my issues with him and his deficiencies, but all the issues
rhythm to the play calling, though. And Prince, you tell me if you think this is true. I personally think the reason you don't have rhythm is because you have 2 primary targets and you don't spread the ball around like every other football team that is a championship team. I mean, tell me something here. Look at the teams that spread the ball around. Detroit, Kansas City.
I was encouraged by Jahan Dotson. I mean, he didn't get much, but he got a couple catches. And you know who else?
That was great to see.
You know who else Hurts went to in the game?
Calcaterra.
Yeah, Calcaterra. I mean, he had, I think, 60 or 70 yards in that game. So
I thought he had a really good game catching the ball.
Yeah.
He stepped right in there, and Kellen.
Yeah, well, you remember Hurts went to OU with him.
Yeah.
So they have the relationship previously from there, and he was a big target for Hurts at Oklahoma. So they do have that going for him. But we'll see. I mean, Dallas Goedert's going to miss a couple games. That's why I was encouraged to see that, because you're going to need a guy that can catch some passes at least has the capability to. Whether Hurts will go to him or not is another
I
question.
want to address this here before we move on here. So I had a conversation with Doc Walker over the weekend, and I said, who's the guy that comes up with the strategy on passing offense for Washington? Is it Cliff? He goes, no, it's Brian. And I go, yeah. He goes, and I'm not shocked because Brian did a great job with Brian Dable up in Buffalo. So get this, Brian Johnson and Brian Dable were in Buffalo with Josh Allen when Josh Allen turned his whole career around up there with those guys. And so there's no coincidence that you're seeing a guy, he actually influences the play calling for Cliff Kingsbury on game day. So he can, like that last tweet said, he can call a game.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
maybe he learned from a year ago. Listen, every experience, Xander, you have, just like in your business,
yeah, but
right?
that's where I can't help but my mind going to the quarterback. I can't help it. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. I'd like to be wrong because that would mean the Eagles are in a better position. But I can't help watching Brian Johnson be able to do what he's done. Now, I don't know how much control he has there, but I mean, that offense was brutal with Jalen Hurts. It was brutal, dude. It was almost unwatchable.
Okay.
We were a hard watch last season.
That because Nick was saying it's his offense.
Yeah. Well,
Nick said it's his offense. And right now, it's not quite as bad because why? Kellen's more of an experienced coordinator than Brian was. I think it's just a tad better, not a lot better. Don't you agree to that? The offense is a tad better. Would you say it's a lot better?
No. Right now?
Yeah.
No, it's not that much better. I mean, you were missing AJ for 3 games, so let's get a bigger sample size. You have 2 games with AJ out there, but I mean, look, the reality with AJ is Jalen does just go to him, right? Like if he sees single coverage, he throws the ball to him. I don't have a huge problem with it, but it doesn't show progression in the offense.
I think he throws double coverage to him too.
Yeah, well, there's been many touchdowns AJ's had where he's escaped the double coverage and made the play. I remember that. I remember the one touchdown throw. I think it was last year versus the Steelers. And it was Minkah Fitzpatrick and the other defensive back for the Steelers. And they were blanketing AJ, and AJ just slithers between the two dudes and goes up and catches the ball. Double coverage also in the Super Bowl.
Him and DK Metcalf are the best at jump footballs.
Yeah, I'll take AJ over DK Metcalf.
I mean, you throw the football.
Yeah, that's right, Casey. It was triple coverage. Versus Steelers was triple coverage. That's right.
Those two guys. Now, let me ask you this question here. Can the Eagles be a true Super Bowl contender if your head coach is on the hot seat?
Yeah, I mean, I believe what I put to the chat in you is how I feel about that. And I put team can rally around it if they like them. I mean, Sills, you get this, right? I mean, it's WWE. It's how the world works. Teams can rally around a villain, around a guy that everybody's been kind of cast out, and then he embraces that role. So if the players actually like the coach, which I don't have any inside view other than what everybody else sees as well. I'm talking to John, who's boots on the ground, but it doesn't seem like they strongly dislike Nick. They could rally around it, but it does lower your chances. I mean, you shut that window, 30-40% more and make it that much harder by having that. That's why you don't let look, the Phillies just came out today and announced that they extended manager Rob Thompson. Why? Because you don't let a manager go in on a lame duck year. You just don't do it, right? So I think you have a good point where when everybody's wondering whether this dude will be back, it does impact your chances negatively, but I don't think it can't be done, if that makes sense.
I don't give a shit about a guy's record. I care how the team looks right now because you know what records are? Records are ancient history. I want to know what you're doing now. I'm going to believe in your process because you've had consistency when it comes to winning, and you are building up. You build up equity with me with your record, but the record's not going to save your job if you're not doing a great job. Rob Thompson,
you know how they say record's not a quarterback stat,
right?
Is record a coach stat?
Yes, because it's the only thing he's gauged on is his record. He can't play, he can't throw the ball, he can't catch, and he can't tackle.
Well, here's where I'd push back on Nick's record, because Nick's record is damn good. You can't deny it. Everybody.
No, best.
Now he's had a stacked roster. Can't. I mean, I'm not going to penalize him for that, but he has had a good roster. He's had a better roster than anybody else hired in his.
To his side, you can't penalize him for coming to a good franchise.
Yeah, no, right. I'm not going to hold it against him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, here's what I don't like about the record. does the team look like they're getting better as
No.
they continue to win games? To me, they look like they're getting worse while winning games.
Now, is that on the coach though, or is that on the
I
people
don't
building
know.
the
I'm
team?
just saying that's if we're gauging them on the record, I have to gauge them on the whole body of work that the
Okay.
team is doing. I mean, you're winning games uglier now than you did when you first took over the job.
Okay. This same conversation is going on in Dallas right now because Mike McCarthy's
How
won
about that Jerry
36.
Jones interview?
He's won 36 ball games, but yet the roster is getting lesser and lesser over the last 3 years. Do you think that is a Mike McCarthy thing, or do you think that's a Jerry Jones thing? He's got lesser talent now.
Yeah. I mean, that's on Jerry, the lesser talent.
Okay. Well, right now,
47-9.
don't you think there's lesser talent on this team right now than 22?
Wait, Sills. 47-9 on your home turf, dog.
On your birthday.
I was texting my boy who's a Cowboy fan. He actually joined. He actually is in the show a lot. Boy, he was trying to sell me that the Eagles ain't looking.
Birthday.
He said, "Oh, the Eagles got blown up by the Bucks." I said, "My boy, you can't defend 47-9 on your home turf. I'm sorry, you just can't."
They were 1-15, and they didn't get killed like that during that year. They were 1-15.
Yeah.
I was there at the beginning. Hey, dude, they got murdered on Jerry's birthday. Hey, by the way, I posted that clip. Even Xander fucking responded to the Jerry Jones.
He basically told the dude on the spot, "I'll have you fired in a second." Flexed his muscles.
Hey, don't you think the Eagles do that? The WIP and other places around in the market?
I know for a fact. They did it. They tried to do it to us. That's why they hate us. Everybody says, "Oh, you're trying to make yourself a victim." No, I'm not.
No,
I just know when I get a phone call from a billionaire owner who threatens anti-Semitism and all this other bullshit, which none of it is true, I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. So I'm going to say it. I don't believe I'm a victim. I'm not saying I'm a victim. But it happens. It's real.
By the way, how can you be a victim when someone's trying to turn you into a guy trying to turn you into a yes man by calling you and threatening you? The guy threatened you.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. He threatened us over you.
Yeah.
He said, you guys need to move on from Dan Cilia or else. I said, fuck you. Bring it, bitch. And don't worry, they're bringing it.
I know they are. All right. Jordan Mailata's injury. Would you move out Micaiah Becton to left tackle and put Steen at right guard and go that route there? Or would you put Micaiah back there and keep Fred out there on the left? Because remember something now. You're talking not playing right tackle now, the heir apparent, because that's the front side of the quarterback. You're talking blind side now of the quarterback, and Fred is not the greatest athlete out there. He's a big dude, and I'm not saying Micaiah, but Micaiah has played that left tackle position when he was with the Jets. What would you do, and what do you think? You think Stoutland would be aiming more towards? What makes more sense?
So I think if my opinion would be, because I felt pretty good about the way Steen played when he got that chance at right guard this year, you might wonder about, depending on how long-term it is with Mailata, you might want to put him out there. And that's Jalen's weak side, remember. Like, you don't want pressure coming off the edge with Jalen on his backside. It's one thing for pressure to come where Lane was out.
He can see it.
Jalen can see it, and Jalen's elusive and can move around it, right? I mean, that's why people in Pittsburgh right now like the Steelers, because they got a banged-up offensive line, and he's elusive in the pocket enough to get away. So the other line of thinking, though, is you lost one player. Do you want to change two positions now, right? Because now I have a backup right guard in, and I have a backup left tackle in. Right? Like, I could keep my right guard the same, and then I'm only switching out one position.
Well, what makes you stronger? Do you think you're stronger with Fred?
Because the left tackle is so important,
right?
I think you got to go Mekhi there. Now, here's the other question. Mekhi Becton was a first-round draft pick in New York and was benched and sent out to pasture and was picked up here as a reclamation project. Is he that much better at left tackle than Fred Johnson would be? I don't know. Probably. But I don't know. Fred Johnson wasn't that bad. Now, he got worked a little bit once he had a full game.
I didn't think he played bad.
Yeah, he played better in the game where Lane got hurt mid-game, and then he came in. Once he had that full game.
It's a C. You know what? A C taking over for Mailata? Dude, Mailata's an A player. He's an A player. He's one of the top 4 left OTs in the game. We're once again, we're not talking about just being one of the better players on the Eagles. You're talking about being one of the better players in the league at that position.
No
And
doubt.
that is a money position. So that's the question, Xander. Are you stronger with Steen, who hasn't played poorly, at right guard, and Micaiah over at left tackle? Or are you more stronger this way? Micaiah at right guard and Fred over at left tackle. What does Stoutland feel gives him the best strength and the less drop off?
Well, here's the thing. Left tackle is more important than right guard.
By far.
Especially when you have a center you're confident in and a right tackle in Lane
And a
Johnson
left guard
you're
you're very confident in.
I know, but even between, on the either side of that right guard, you feel pretty good about those two guys. I would, whatever makes you better at left tackle is probably where I would go, is what I would do, because I believe the left tackle is going to be more important to the success of the Eagles than the right guard position is. So I would go with that. But again, I'm not entirely sure that Mekhi Becton is that much of an upgrade over Fred Johnson at left tackle. Only Stoutland will know. And you know what? The best part about this discussion is I trust Stoutland.
Yeah, me too, 100%.
Now I think it's going to be a big loss. I don't think Stoutland would lie to you about that. He knows that. That was my biggest takeaway from the Browns game.
Kellen was asked about it because you're going to be more likely to roll a certain way because of athleticism. Hey, Mulata's the best athlete on your team. 6'8", 350 pounds. Guy played rugby, never played football 6 years ago. And here he is, one of the top 4 guys at his position in the sport. Dude, that guy is a sensational athlete. So you're talking about a very athletic guy, and you're going to downgrade to that. Fred's not the greatest athlete on the planet. Mekhi is nowhere in that room, too. So like you said, hey, man, those kickouts are going to be a little bit more stiff. You're going to see guys. And by the way, if you're Brian Burns, I'm lining up right on that guy. And I'm going to give that guy we're going to find out if he can play or not.
Yeah,
because that guy can play, dude.
Yeah, no doubt. You're right about that. We'll see what they end up doing. That's a big loss, though, Sills. I mean,
it is.
Jordan Mailata. And look,
I think it's extended period. I think it's going to be more than a month.
I ain't a doctor, and I'm far too stupid to ever be one. But shit, man, that dude could barely walk after that game.
Yeah, he had crutches too, man. I was like, holy crap, man.
Crutches, I mean, the whole 9 yards. So I'm like, dude, if he, I don't know. I'm just worried that he ruptured that hamstring bad.
Yeah.
And that's my fear with it. And we're going to find more out. I think actually Mailata is on the air today. I think he does his show on the flagship station.
That's such a painful injury too, man.
Yeah, it is. I was a goalie in hockey. I showed everybody my goalie helmet. I had a hamstring issue when I was younger. And I was younger, obviously. So, but they're painful. And they're tough. They nag you, man. They nag.
The only thing is rest. That's the only thing that helps.
Even when you get back, though, man, you just it's almost like you're not confident in it. It's a nag. So
I'll give somebody a great analogy. You ever have a rubber band? Most of the time, your hamstring is like a rubber band, and you can stretch it out. Well, sometimes you get one of them rubber bands that are really not very tight, and you can't go like this. That's how your hamstring feels when you come off a hamstring injury. It just doesn't have the same length, and you don't have the same flexibility that you had earlier in the year because you're this. Your flexibility goes to this. At the beginning of the year before the injury, you could go like this to it, and you have great flexibility. Now, to Xander's point, when Xander's 19 years old or he's 18, 19 years old, that injury is going to heal quicker. When you're 28, 29 years old, 26 years old, that injury is going to come along a little bit slower than it would be when you're younger. All right.
Wait, let's laugh at the irony of this fucking idiot. Ready? This idiot. Xander wouldn't say shit to Nick's face. That's this world now. It's so confident to say whatever behind a camera and act like a pussy when it comes to face-to-face interaction. Wait, guys, let's laugh at the irony of this guy. I'm on air with my face, with my name, with everything I am as a man, backing up what I say on here. By the way, I've met Nick. His handshake was so soft. I don't know if I'll trust the dude ever, no matter what he does. And this dude comments in with a fake picture, a fake name, and there's nothing he stands on as a human being is attached to it. Oh, the irony of this fucking idiot. I despise people like that. Oh, you wouldn't say shit. Dude, look at you. Look at your comment. You wouldn't say shit to me if you saw me in person. I'm right here. I live in the city. Come find me, buddy.
Hey,
You wouldn't say anything.
I would say that right to Nick's face. I had no
Exactly. I
problem.
would too. I had no
I
issue.
don't have a problem with that.
I would tell Nick, I don't care about you chirping the
Yeah.
fans, just like I did on this
And I
show.
would
But
pray you hit me.
be a better
I
football coach.
would pray you hit me too, man, because I don't have the team.
Man in
I
black.
pray you hit me. I heard
Man in
Nick
black.
Sirianni has a handshake like a Jersey Mike sandwich.
Man
Is that
in
right?
black with the fake picture and the fake name. Yeah.
Hey, Xander, I heard that guy. I heard he has like a handshake like a Jersey Mike's sub. Is that right? It's all like kind of woozy and like, right? No texture to it.
Nothing.
Xander goes off on the
Wait,
guy.
I have to push back on John on this. I told John that story. You know what John's response was? Well, you never know, man. Sometimes, maybe he got a hand injury back in the day or something. I'm like, what?
Good old John.
What, John?
I love him.
John, what kind of BS is that, John?
Holy cow, man. I'll tell you what, that guy doesn't roll cannolis. Hey, do you think the Eagles are going to try to make this a Barkley game? Him going back, because I'll tell you what I'd like to do. That Joe Schoen, he completely disrespected Saquon Barkley by telling him, hey, give us a chance to re-sign you. When Barkley even went on a show with somebody and said, I knew for a fact that they were not going to re-sign me. They fed him a bunch of shit. Don't you give that guy the ball 28 times and just let them try to run that fucking thing over?
I'm a little. I mean, look, Saquon hasn't been as good in the last.
One game.
Couple of
One
weeks.
game. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm just worried. I'm just, if you look at his first couple of games, he was great, but they are home runs, right? So if teams figure out how to take that out, I mean, he hasn't been averaging.
Browns did a great job on him.
Yeah, so we'll see. Browns did a really good job on him. So we'll see how he can. Look, it is a big game. It is a big week for him, though. You got to think he's ready to kind of get out there and show them that they should have signed him. We'll see what they're going to do this week. I don't know. Still, they don't like running the ball, man. They just don't.
They're more of a finesse. They're kind of like Dick Block or Dick Black. They're more like a finesse team right now. Okay, main cock block or something, whatever your name is. Hey, all I know is they're a finesse team now. Okay, hey dude, honest to God, seriously, you know what? Did you come here to just start trying to fight somebody?
Look at his little ghost picture.
You must have a lot of like man issues, dude. I guarantee you have a 2-inch penis. Let's see what Flexen said. No, wait, you know what? I don't want to do that right now. We'll do it at the end. How good do you think this Giants team is? Or not?
I don't think they're very good, but I think they're a little bit better than people have made them out to be. I don't think they're the 2023 Giants. I don't think they're
better than. Are they better than the Browns?
No, they beat the Browns.
Okay. Do you think they're better?
I think they're better than the Browns. Browns are selling, boy. The Browns traded Amari Cooper. That's why people were like, should we go get Myles Garrett? Guys, we're not going to get Myles Garrett. But I think they're better than the Browns, yeah. I mean, they got a solid defense. I will say Kayvon being out isn't great for them. But even outside of Kayvon, they got a good defense. I mean, they got Brian Burns. They got Lawrence on that front. They got good players, man. So
total defense, they're 10th. Pass defense, they're 14th. Rush defense, they're 12th. Scoring defense, they're 10th. Red zone defense, they're 9th. And third down efficiency, they're 9th. Okay? This is a better defense coming into this game than what Cleveland was or even Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Dude, they can play defense, man. I mean, now, on the other side of the aisle.
Malik Neighbor's a good player, too. I don't know if he'll be back, but he's a good player. So
here, total offense, they're averaging 325 yards a game. That ain't awful. I think the Eagles are averaging 371. Pass offense, they're 13th. Do you know that Daniel Jones has a better pass offense than the Eagles do?
What makes you say that?
Well, they're averaging 220 yards a game.
What are we averaging?
I don't believe you're averaging that. You maybe I just said that off the top of my head. I don't believe. Oh, wait, the Eagles are 17th. Daniel Jones has a higher. The Eagles are 17th. The Giants are 13th. Pass offense.
So the Giants have a better pass offense than the Philadelphia Eagles. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Well, they're ranked 13th, 218, and the Eagles are 17th.
That's pretty bad. Now you're missing AJ Brown. There's definitely some pieces in there, but Look,
But by the end of the
I'm
day,
kind of
Malik
with you with
Neighbors.
what you said earlier.
Malik Neighbors has been out. Who's Daniel Jones been throwing to?
Yeah, you're right. I'm kind of with you too about what your comment earlier. Like, okay, so every time you lose one player, you're just okay to fall off a cliff,
Right?
right? I mean, that can't really be for a
Jones
team
has
that has
nobody
Super
when
Bowl
Neighbors is out.
aspirations.
He has nobody. And he's got a better pass offense than the Eagles do. The
Yeah,
Giants.
that's pretty insane. Boy, Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes has a better pass offense than the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you tell me, well, AJ and Devontae are out, I'm not thinking, okay. I mean, dude, Xander, the realest dude on the air, bro, is unstoppable. Look at that,
Appreciate it,
Jared
Jameson. Thanks,
Jameson.
man. Appreciate you.
So how do you
Danny Dimes is. Wait a second. These numbers are eerily similar. He is all right. So here's Daniel Jones's numbers: 1346 in the 1343 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, an 80 rating, and 62% completion percentage. Let's do Jalen Hurts now. 1194, 67.5 completions is pretty good for Hurts. That would be his highest, I think, ever. If he kept that pace, it would be. 1194 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, the exact same as Daniel Jones, and 92 rating. So better rating.
Not by much.
Not by much.
And the Giant offense is more effective in the air than what the Eagle offense
And the
is.
Giants offense is nowhere. I mean, if you
Terrible.
think the Giants even have anywhere
They're
close
all,
to
I think they got one O lineman and they got no
their
running
line's brutal. They don't. I mean, they were
Neighbors been in and out of the lineup.
They were missing Malik Neighbors for a couple weeks. They don't have Saquon Barkley anymore. I mean, that's not a good offense. So you don't really want to be
Have
compared
a
to
more
them right now.
effective offense passing the ball than
Now, Daniel Jones has played an extra game, so he's got 200 more passing yards and he's got an extra game. So,
yeah, but I'm going with the averages here with the fact that he's averaging 218 and they're 13th. I'm not talking about total passing yards. I'm talking about a ranking here. So the ranking could be whether it's 4 or 5 games, doesn't matter. This guy's averaging more passing yards per game, and they're 13th in the league right now versus what the Eagles are at 17 passing the ball. And you got Barkley and Devontae's missed 2. AJ's missed a ton, but the Giants don't have anybody. I mean, so Daniel Jones is
look, here's the reality of this conversation. We can't take this team easily this weekend. This is the game. You got to go in, and that's every game. You can't take any team easily in the NFL, but especially this week, it's an NFC East matchup. We lost to the Giants once last year, didn't we?
Yeah. End of the year, you lost to the pizza guy.
Yeah, wasn't that kind of a throwaway game?
Well, I don't know, man. You were trying to fight for home field advantage and winning the NFC East. I mean, towards the end of the year, and that came down to the final game of the year, winning the NFC East. Xander, you were a wild card team because you lost to the Giants. So I mean, you were playing. It wasn't a throwaway game. You were playing for something. Look at this guy. Eagles by 28. You ain't gonna win by 28 in one game this year. Hey, dude. So let me ask you this. So after this game, you have Dallas, Washington, Baltimore. How you feeling about that?
Dallas doesn't scare me at all anymore. I was dead wrong about them last week. I thought they were better than they are.
5 wins, I said, remember?
Yeah, they're fucking brutal. They're so bad. Like they don't scare. They might scare me less than the Giants. I'm not even kidding.
How about the Commanders?
Commanders, yeah, that's gonna be a tough matchup. Twice, I think. I think we'll split it.
Yeah, you split. How about Baltimore?
Baltimore, I don't think we're matched up well with that team. How are we going to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know.
Look at Robert M. We suck too, though.
Hey. So wait a minute. I heard some good things from Vic today about Nolan Smith. This is getting better. Or I
thought the funniest part of Vic Fangio today is he comes out in a red October sweatshirt. I thought that was, I don't know why I found that so rich and so funny that he did that. He just walks out in a red after they announced the Rob Thompson stuff. I'm like, oh my God, that's funny.
Hey, but dude, here's something here that just makes me know that coaching staff doesn't really have a good pulse on the city of Philly. I was asked a question about the fan base, and Vic goes like this: it's like any other place, Guys get a little tough, and get a little bit. No, it's not like any other place. And I'm going like, your head coach just took a shit on the fans. Now you're saying Philly's common like it's Carolina. It's like the Carolina Panther fan base. And I'm going like, and I don't think he meant any harm by it, but because he probably doesn't hear any of that. He's in a fucking booth. He's not down on the sidelines here and all that. But I'm sitting there going like this. Why would you say that after your coach just took a crap on the fan base? And you're like, Philly's like Carolina. It's a Carolina fan base. It's kind of like that kind of fan base. Tennessee Titans. And you're going like this. That place is not like any other place. Dude, I saw Philly fans in Tampa throwing popcorn on Nick Sirianni go, hey, Nick, you're done. Hey, Nick, you're done.
I love Philly.
Dude, hey, man, I'll tell you, like I said, man, I'll tell you, you're like my grandpa.
I'm getting a little fed up with this organization, though.
Yeah, but you're like my grandpa. There's no gray area. You either are cheering or you're booing, and it's the same. You know what? You love to boo and you love to cheer. You love to do both.
Yeah, I like booing. I don't have a problem. Somebody said Gen Z doesn't like booing. I like booing. I just thought it was. I didn't have an issue.
Yeah, but everybody wants a participation medal today, dude.
Yeah, not me.
Hey,
the fuck the participation medal get you?
I told you what my daughter did, man. She got it like so they gave her like a ribbon, and we were walking out. And, it was a really nice ribbon. Dee Dee looks over at me. She goes, "Hey, Dad, we didn't place first, second, or third in the tournament. You see, they gave me a ribbon here." And I'm going like, "Oh, Dee, I wanted to be nice." And I go, "That's nice." He goes, "What'd you teach me, Pop?" I said, "Oh, I dropped it right in the trash can." She goes, "We don't take home participation medals." Walked right out. I looked over at her. I go, "Fuck, I love you."
I love it.
We don't take home participation medals.
Yeah, I love the story of your tattoo on your arm.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, in the 1986 one.
Yeah. The reason why I put that on is because it reminds
me. Silly was a 1987 national champion for all you clowns that clown on him and act like he hasn't done a lot in this game, but he's got 86 on the arm.
And the reason I have 86, it's the greatest football team Miami has ever accomplished or ever put together next to the 01 team. And we were so iconic. We're remembered as the most hated team in American sports history. We did so many amazing things. And we only gave up 6 first downs in that national title game, Xander, and 120 yards in total offense to Penn State, and we fucking lost. I played my greatest game in that game. I had 13 tackles, 2 sacks, opened the game up with a 15-yard sack on the quarterback. I'll never forget looking over at Jerome Brown. Jerome goes like this. They're on the 6-yard line with 5 seconds left. He looks over at me. He goes, "You think Vinny throws it in the end zone for a touchdown?" I go, "He throws a pick." Sure enough, Jerome looked right at me. He goes, "He threw a fucking pick." There were 5 seconds left in the game. And Jimmy was going to pull us because we had played so great. And I walked right over to Coach Johnson, and I never swore at him before other than this. He goes, "Let's get the back." I go, "Fuck that. We're finishing it." I walked out there. Steve Wisniewski was out there, and all I could hear these guys saying, "We beat them. We beat them. We beat the villains. We beat them." I had to sit there and listen to that. I watched the 5 seconds tick off. I wasn't going to shake their hand. They came over to me and they shook my hand. And I'm friends with every one of them guys today that were in that game. 100 million people watched that game that night. And it was the first national title game of its kind. And so I'm walking off the field, man, just going like this. Never want that feeling again. Then next year we go back and we win the national title.
Yep. National champion forever, Big Sills. Nobody can take that away from you.
Next year we go back and we win the national title, undefeated, of course. And you're sitting there. You always remember. I get asked the question, "Hey, you won the national title in '87." You go like this. "Yeah, man, but that 86, man. I'll never forget that as long as I ever live." Let's get to the super chats, homie.
Yep.
We got Gary Cobb. By the way, Gary Cobb's a national champion too at USC.
Where do we start with these? We got that, right?
Yep. Thank you, Anthony.
What's going on with the Nathaniel Hackett issue, Abe? I don't know. They just got rid of
I'll tell you flat out what's going on with the Jets right now. Aaron Rodgers has lost a little equity in that building. That's why that Nathaniel Hackett was demoted. And actually, I thought the Jets played better last night.
The Jets played much better last night. And by the way, I would not count them out. I see a lot of people saying Devontae Adams not going to do shit. That would be like saying A.J. Brown didn't do shit here.
No, well, he's going to do something.
Garrett Wilson's a great player. He's not ready to be a wide receiver number one in this league.
Okay.
Now Aaron Rodgers adds him. They started to find a little bit of rhythm. If they get that top 5 defense playing like a top 5 defense, that team could be a contender in the AFC. I would not sleep. On the Jets, especially after. By the way, I love Devontae Adams. That dude is easily my favorite receiver in the league. I love Devontae Adams.
You see him on with Pat McAfee today?
I did. I watched the show. It was great. It was fantastic.
Okay,
we watched this. Right? We read this.
Good. Is it? Yes, we did. Thank you.
We read it. Prince, appreciate it, brother. Flexion says, Z said he in the city. Fuck y'all talking about. Appreciate you, Flex. Daniel Bigelow, Sills. Josh Allen is getting Cooper. What do you think about that? He's washed.
I think it's a good upgrade because of the shit that they have up there. But let's not sit here and say Amari Cooper is Devontae Smith. I mean, he's an upgrade. He's not Stephon Diggs. He's a good player. Okay. But to sit there and go like this.
I don't think he's even that good.
I don't either. I think
I think Josh will make him better though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. But
he got a drop problem though, man. Josh throws a hard ball. Josh throws a bullet, boy. You better get them hands ready, Amari.
He throws a bullet, man.
Philly Dogs, appreciate you. $1.99. Jameson, appreciate you, man. Prince checks in. Hey, calm down, Xander. That was 86.
Yeah,
my guy.
And you know what, too, Prince?
90%.
Most people had their dad's seed in his sack when you won your Super Bowl last.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. 90% of people were swimming in a nutsack. Look, I bullied this guy into changing his picture, so he made it a tough guy, him sticking up his middle finger. Updated my picks, and Xander is mad my social and banking info isn't on my YouTube, little soul.
Wait, Xander. I'm going to show you. I'm going to hook you up here, and I'm going to play Jeffrey Lurie, and you're going to play Nick Sirianni. Look, when you see a guy like a nutsack like this, hey, man, don't be screaming at him. Listen to me talking like the voice of reason. I'd be fucking going nuts too, man. I have no patience, but dude, box of rocks.
Yeah, big box.
This guy here, right here, this guy, Main Dick, is a box of rocks. I mean, come on, man.
I appreciate him watching. I got to be honest. I mean,
by the way,
I appreciate him watching. But to say that comment was stupid, especially as.
By the way, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie. We appreciate that shit, man.
Like I said, I appreciate him watching. I don't got an issue. I mean, he thinks we're gonna, make it a call-in show. So we're not gonna change the program for you, my guy. You're not that important. But I do appreciate you being here.
Oh, I'd love to have call in. That'd be great to hear you fucking losers.
Yeah, Bob Brown was telling me to ask you that. I'm like, Bob, I'm not Howie. I'm not Howie, so I'm not going to program Sills a show for him, but I'll run it by him. So, Bob, there you go. You just heard it on air. We should do that. So we should do a Wednesday because I was thinking of launching like another live show between Birds and your show where I would do something like that. It would be pretty fun to talk to Eagle Nation. Would be great, but. Yeah, Casey Eagle brings up a good point. Post game, if you want to join there, Man in Black, I'll talk to you there, brother. I'd bring on people after the post game show.
Hey, that guy who posted that and was a tough guy, and then he gave a super chat. You're kind of our kind of viewer, dude.
Yeah, he shit on us. I shit on you back.
He shit on you. So hey,
maybe that's what we got to do with Jay.
Hey, welcome to the family.
Jay's been chirping.
Family, man. I mean,
Jay, are you feeling left out that I didn't tell you to fuck off, Jay? If I give you a fuck off, will you turn the page too?
Hey, by the way, dude, I'm going to say it to you. Welcome to the family, dude. Okay? I mean it. I'm not kidding.
I don't hate you, brother. I don't hate anybody on here. I really don't. It's football.
No, I don't either. Especially, man. Hey, you being here, brother, it is important for us to have everybody, as many people as we can. Hey, this is what old sports talk used to be. Guys goofing on one another in a locker room.
If we built shows on being in agreement with everybody, we wouldn't have a company right now. we would have nothing right now. So when somebody disagrees, it's not a problem. We get it.
Hey, M. Reyes, kiss my ass. But I love you.
Sills, you'd love talking to Bob. I talked to Bob on the post game show. Bob wants to make the call-in thing happen.
Hey, Bob, I hear Bob had an ass with me a couple days ago, where he said some shit about me, and Bob's starting to talk shit on me, and Bob probably thought that I was going to be upset. Hey, Bob, you could go on other shows talking shit on me. You come back here for 3-4 hours. Why would I ever be mad at that? I don't get that. Xander knows this.
Well,
I don't
you were
get
talking
bent.
shit on Big Sills?
Yeah. I don't get bent like that, man. I really don't. Because if you guys come here and support me, like look at dumbass M. Reyes. This guy's one of the biggest piece of shits that I love.
No, he's not. I talked to him on the post game. Tim Reyes is a great guy. I love him.
Wait a minute. I love him. I'm not saying I don't. Okay. He's one of my favorite people, but he's a piece of shit sometimes. And so at the end of the day, don't get your panties in a bind. Hey.
Never change, M. Reyes. Stick to your don't be Sirianni, M. Reyes, where you come out and apologize. You never apologize. And by the way, big shout out to M. Reyes who placed an order on the merch shop. I just got that. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. If anybody else wants to check it out, man, JAKIBSports.com.
Sue.
So you have Silio acting up, man. You might need to give a couple days break with your comments. You got Silio acting up here, dude.
Let me give you my best side here.
And you can always tell when Sills' wife's not in the house.
Oh yeah,
Man, Freddie, you better report this behavior.
Hey, she ain't. Watch this. I'm going to give you my Howie side.
All right, Cobb just emailed me back. He'll be in around 4:30.
Gary Cobb coming up here right around the corner. Xander, great stuff as always, my friend. Make sure you guys check out the merchandise, man. Pretty soon we're going to get some big sales stuff up there. I can't wait for that.
That's pretty dope, man. I appreciate you taking the time out to listen to us. That's pretty cool.
Oh, you guys, listen, every single one of you. I learned one lesson about Xander. Xander, here's a compliment from Xander to me. Hey, Sills, really a decent show. That means it's a great show. Okay, so I know because he
give
can't
you bigger compliments than that. Don't give me that. I think you know what I think of your program. I think you are the best. I think you're the most talented sports talker in America. And some of the things that have happened in your career, and I've seen it firsthand, how you've been outcast and how they've done everything to turn the tide on your entire career. And I'm honored to have you here at JAKIB. I mean, I think your show is tremendous. I think you're tremendous at this, and I tell you that all the time. So don't give me that. Don't give me that, Big Sills.
Max and Miles available. Dude, Howie's not going to go trade first-round pick. Miles Garrett cost you 2 1s. 2 1s minimum. And then a 2s and 3s. And the Browns are not moving a generational player like that.
No, I don't think any of these dudes. I don't think any of these dudes.
Way to
Appreciate
go,
it, man in black.
Yeah. Look at what you did. Called him a motherfucker, wanted to kick his ass, and now this guy's giving you $7.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Life
it's all love.
Good.
It's Philly. It's that doesn't embody Philly. Look at O'Dizzle though. Wait, look at O'Dizzle.
Got to be honest, Sills. A year ago, 10-1, you were the only realist podcaster saying the truth. I hated you. Now I'm Silly-o-wized.
We're still working on it on Dick Track. Dick Track. He says Xander is a crazy man. You're right. I'm crazy. A-Track. He should be Dan Sills' lawyer. He lies all day.
Hey, there he is right there. One of my favorite guys of all time, Dick Track. I love this guy, man. He's here every day, 4 hours, posting away just like that piece of shit BJ or LJ, whatever. I don't even respond to that guy anymore because he's just a whatever. But I love him here because he helps the algorithm. Thank you very much, Dick Train. Hey, Xander, we will catch you tomorrow. Gary Cobb is right around the corner. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody in the chat, man. Love all you guys. Great support, as always. Go Birds, baby.
Absolutely. Don't forget also, my friends, we appreciate it. BetUS, our great friends at BetUS. You guys can sit here and go to one of your favorite betting houses now. We have partnered up with BetUS. Absolutely awesome. YouTube 150. A deposit of up to $2K. That's right. With our YouTube 150. The second one is 125. Third is 125 as well. 200% also in bonuses when you use crypto. That's betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business. And do me a favor, folks. Do me a favor. betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. You do me a favor and tell them Big Sil sent you.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.